Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Jaya Radha, Kalachanji Radha, Kalachanji Radhe. Jaya Radha, Kalachanji Radha, Kalachanji Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govinda Radha, Govinda Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govinda Radha, Govinda Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra. Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Jai Go Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Go Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Bhavacharya Satartha Tishisi Madhu Divine Grace Tulasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Parvacharya Asatartha Tishisi Madhu His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Gaudiya Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Hardas Thakur Ki Jai. Premzo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Shri Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaur, Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gokopinath, Shama Kunda, Radha Kundi, Kedi Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Maya Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to CC, Guru, and Guranga.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the weekly Chaitanya Charitamrita class at Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji Dham. I can use my phone. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा. Thank you. Okay, we'll do the Mangalacharan together and then get started. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. So we are continuing with our reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is chapter 10 titled The Lord's Return to Jagannath Puri. We'll start from text 56 today. Okay. So we'll repeat the first verse and then we'll just continue from there. ए वाणी नाथ रहिबे तोमार चरणे जाबे जे अज्ञाताः करिबे सेवने. ए वाणी नाथ रहिबे तोमार चरणे जाबे जे अज्ञाताः करिबे सेवने. Please repeat. ए वाणी नाथ रहिबे तोमार चरणे जाबे जे अज्ञाताः करिबे सेवने. ए वाणी नाथ रहिबे तोमार चरणे जाबे जे अज्ञाताः करिबे सेवने. हे वाणी नाथ रहिबे तोमार चरणे जाबे जे अज्ञाताः करिबे सेवने. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hey Vaninatha, this Vaninatha, Rahibe will remain. Tomara Charane, at your lotus feet. Jabe, the thing in Bengali is Y is pronounced as J if it's the first letter. Only if it's the first letter. First, if the Y is the first alphabet, then it's pronounced J. That's what I heard from. Yeah. Yeah. We see that in the Guru Puja also. We say Ja. I forget the verse. But if we go through it, we'll Jahara. But it's written Yahara. But we say it as Jahara. Jahara Prasada. Anyway, it's just semantics. Jai, whatever. Ajna, order. Taha, that. Karibe, will execute. Sevane, service. This son Vaninatha will remain at your lotus feet to always immediately attend to your orders and serve you. So you know who's speaking this? Yeah, this is Bhavanandarai speaking. So Mahaprabhu has just, to give some context before we get into the section today, Mahaprabhu has finished his South Indian tour. It's taken how many years, you know, for Mahaprabhu to tour entire South India? It's too short. He's a supreme person, he could do it, but he did it in 6 years. So the first 24 years, Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip. Then he came to Jagannath Puri. He stayed there for a month and then immediately left for his tour of South India. And he's been out for 6 years. And Mahaprabhu has just come back to Puri. So think about all the devotees who have been waiting for Mahaprabhu to come for 6 years. And then on the way, he met an incredible personality that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked him to meet. Do you know who that is? Ramanand Rai, right? So Ramanand Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, can you please meet him on the way? Because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a very fierce Mayavadi. And then the conversation happened. And then he realized who Ramanand Rai was. Before that, he had actually met him, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya didn't really consider him somebody great. So then he requested Mahaprabhu that you're going there is a person called Ramanand Rai, you will actually like his association, so you please meet him. And this Bhavananda Rai is his father. So Bhavananda Rai is Ramananda Rai's father, and Ramananda Rai had 5 brothers. So Bhavananda, in the just verses before, Bhavananda Rai comes to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he has heard of his arrival in Jagannath Puri. And then he's saying, you please take everything. Everything that is mine is yours. My 5 sons, my wealth, and everything that I have. They were from a rich mercantile family. And he says, everything is yours. And then I think, okay, I think I think the verses are after. So now he's saying, after he has said, you please consider Vaninath, after saying everything, he's saying specifics, right? You please consider my son Vaninath Rai as your personal servant. Please take him. He's basically giving his son to Mahaprabhu and saying, you please take him. So from next on, I'll read the Bengali and we can take turns to read the Sanskrit. We can pass the mic along if we have it. Yeah. आत्मीय ज्ञाने मोर संकोचन करिबे जय जाबे इच्छा तबे शेई आज्ञा दिबे. So till the mic comes along, I'll read it. My dear Lord, please consider me your relative. Do not hesitate to order whatever you desire at any time you desire. This is again Bhavananda Rai. Prabhu kahe ki sankocha tumi naha para janme janme tumi amar swam she kinkara.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Bhavananda Rai's offer, saying, I accept without hesitation because you are not an outsider birth after birth. You have been my servant, along with your family members.
So we'll see who they were birth after birth. Dina pancha shata bhitare ashibe Ramananda tara shange purna hobe amara ananda.
Sri Ramananda Roy is coming within 5 to 7 days. As soon as he arrives, my desires will be fulfilled. I take great pleasure in his company.
So when coming back, so he met Ramananda Rai on the way to South India first. And then when coming back, he met Ramananda Rai again. And at that point, Mahaprabhu said, you please come with me. I cannot be without you. You please come with me. And then Ramananda Rai told, I requested King Prataparudra. So he was a minister, governor under his kingdom, Ramananda Rai. And Prataparudra basically relieved him of his duties because King Prataparudra was also a great devotee of the Lord. In the beginning of this chapter, we read how Prataparudra was inquiring about Mahaprabhu. So, but Ramananda Rai said, I'm not going to come with you because you are a sannyasi and with me I'm a governor, I will have a huge, entourage. Yeah, entourage that will come with me. So therefore, you please leave. So Mahaprabhu has reached Jagannath Puri, but now Ramananda Rai is coming. But he quit his job, but Pratap Rudra said, you will get all the salary that you're getting right now. You don't have to work. All you have to do is just serve Mahaprabhu. So this is your job now. So he relieved him of his duties. So Ramananda Rai is coming. So Mahaprabhu is anticipating his arrival. Okay, let's continue. Check 60. Eta bholi prabhu tare kaila alingana tara putra saba shire dharila charana.
Saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Bhavananda Roy. The Lord then touched the heads of his sons with his lotus feet.
Incredible. Actually, throughout South India, when Mahaprabhu would travel, this is what he would do. He would embrace people, and you know what would happen when Mahaprabhu embraced people? Yeah, the love of Godhead would manifest in them. This is how he would do it. He would go to a village, he would find somebody, he would talk to them and then embrace them, and then they would become pure devotees, and then they would preach to the village, and then Mahaprabhu would move on. He would embrace people, he would move on. So his way of transfer of potency was his embrace, and this is the supreme person. Right? We come in contact with him just if we are in front of him. It's incredible, but if we are able to touch the Lord, it's extraordinary. Okay. Tabe Mahaprabhu tare ghare pathaila vani natha pattanaike nikate rakhila.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then sent Bhavananda Roy back to his home, and he kept only Vaninath Patanyaka in his personal service.
Yeah, although he gave everybody, he said, all my sons are yours and my wealth and everything. He said, okay, he said, thank you for your offer, but I'll just have your son. I can only engage him for now, so I'll just have your son. Bhattacharya Shabaloke Vidhaya Karila Tabe Prabhu Kaila Tabe Prabhu Kala Krishna Dashe Bolaila. Okay, this is an intense section. Please read.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then asked all the people to leave. Afterward, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Kala Krishna Das, who had accompanied the Lord during his South Indian tour.
Yeah, do you remember Kala Krishna Das? Yeah. At that point, we didn't really get to the details of what happening, right? That section basically told the events that were happening, but we'll get to the details of what actually happened in that chapter. Prabhu kahe Bhattacharya shunai hara charita dakshina ghi achila iha amara sahita.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya, just consider the character of these men who went with me to South India.
Yeah. Bhattathari kache gela amare chadiya Bhattathari haite ihare anilu dhariya.
He left my company to associate with the Bhattacharis, but I rescued him from their company and brought him here.
Ebe ami hani karila vidhaya jaha icha jaha ama sane nahi aradhaya.
Now that I've brought him here, I'm asking him to leave. Now he can go wherever he likes, for I am no longer responsible for him.
Read the purport. Kala Krishna Das was influenced and allured by nomads or gypsies who enticed him with women. Maya is so strong that Kala Krishna Das left Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company to join gypsy women. Even though a person may associate with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can be allured by Maya and leave the Lord's company due to his slight independence. Only one who is overwhelmed by Maya can be so unfortunate as to leave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company. Yet, unless one is very conscientious, the influence of Maya can drag one away, even though he be the personal assistant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what to speak of others? The Bhattataris used to increase their numbers by using women to allure outsiders. This is factual evidence showing that it is possible at any time to fall down from the Lord's association. One need only misuse his little independence. Once fallen and separated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead's association, one becomes a candidate for suffering in the material world. Although rejected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kala Krishna Das was given another chance, as the following verses relate. So, so when Mahaprabhu was in South India, so this is like northern Kerala, southern Karnataka. This part, there is this people called Bhattataris. So they were like a mystic group. They were doing black magic and things like that. And in order to increase their group's population, they would actually pick weak people, allure them with women, and then bring them to their camp. And when Mahaprabhu was traveling, this is Kala Krishna Das, who was sent as the personal assistant of Mahaprabhu. He was allured by them. The Bhattataris actually took him because he was allured by the women that of the Bhattataris. But what Mahaprabhu did at that time was he went, saved him from them, and then he came back to Jagannath Puri after a year, it is said. He never said anything to him. Throughout, he kept Kala Krishna Das with him. He was taking his service and everything. And then, when he came to Jagannath Puri immediately, after receiving all the devotees, he said, look at what he has done, and to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And actually, there are several things that we can take from this. You know what first Mahaprabhu did before talking about Kala Krishna Das? Yeah, he first sent everybody away. He could have very well said it in public, right? You know what Kala Krishna Das did? But the first thing that he waited for it, right? He didn't send everybody away, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sent, but he was waiting patiently. He was not in a hurry. He was not in a hurry actually. For 1 year he was tolerating him. For the whole year he was waiting. And then when he came, he sent everybody away, and then he spoke about it. And not just to anybody. He didn't speak to anybody. Who was he speaking to? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And if we read, I think, the 7th chapter, or the 6th chapter, 7th chapter, I think, after the conversations with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became so close. This was, Mahaprabhu used to visit him every day and have prasad at his place. So this was somebody who was very intimate, that he was speaking with also. And somebody who knew Kala Krishna Das. This is the point. That Mahaprabhu didn't just say this in public. And the other thing that we can see also is, he was in the presence of Mahaprabhu, and he went to the Bhattataris, right? He basically rejected Mahaprabhu and said, I like that camp better. But Mahaprabhu didn't leave him there. Mahaprabhu felt he's my responsibility. Although it was the opposite. When the devotees convinced Mahaprabhu, they were saying, you might go into ecstasy, there should be somebody to take care of you. And who will carry your things? So we'll send somebody to take care of you and also to carry your things. So Mahaprabhu was his responsibility. That's how devotees convinced Mahaprabhu before he left Jagannath Puri, that we'll send only one person. Kala Krishna Das is a nice brahmachari. We'll send him with you. But Mahaprabhu didn't abandon him. And then not also immediately chastised him. He didn't do that also, because he knew he was very weak at that point, and if he had done it, he would have completely left. Right? He was already going to the Bhattataris, and immediately after saving him, if Mahaprabhu had said something to him, he knew that Kala Krishna Das couldn't take it. So he was engaging him in his service, didn't say anything about the incident, and finally when he came to Jagannath Puri, he basically said, I cannot do this. I cannot take care of him. We see that Prabhupada is writing in this purport that even if we are in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can fall down. Fall down in the sense, what is fall down? Fall down means, as spirit souls, we have always two options, right? We can serve Krishna or we can serve Maya. Whenever we serve Maya, it is a fall down. That's basically it. It's not a specific situation. And in that there are several specific situations that can happen. But in this case, although he was in the presence of Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was allured by Maya. When Mukundadatta Prabhu came here a few years back, he was telling Prabhupada actually had two problems with his disciples. He appreciated disciples a lot, but he was worried for two things for his disciples. One, he said they had the tendency to change things. And two, he said they didn't fear Maya enough. The power of Maya is so strong that even in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with our minuscule independence, Prabhupada is saying, all of us are having this minuscule independence that Krishna will never take away from us. we always have to choose every second of the day to surrender to Krishna. When Krishna says Sarva Dharman Paridyacha, it's not a one-time thing where, oh, I go in front of my spiritual master, take the vows and take the beads and take the name and I'm surrendered to Krishna. Okay, that is the beginning. But every moment of the day, every second of the day, we have to choose to surrender to Krishna. That minute independence Krishna will never take away from us. So this is what happened to Kala Krishna Das. Do you know of any other instances where devotees in the presence of Krishna actually were allured by Maya? I was thinking about it yesterday. If there are any other instances that we have read in Srimad Bhagavatam or anywhere else, where although they are in the presence of Krishna, they're allured by the material energy of the Lord. Yeah. Yeah, in Duryodhana's case, but he was inimical to him. Right? In this case, Kala Krishna Das was not inimical to Mahaprabhu. He was actually earnestly serving Mahaprabhu up until this point of the Bhattadaris. He was also not favorable to the Lord, right? We are talking about instances where devotees are favorable to the Lord, which is the difficult part, right? This person is favorable to the Lord and yet at the same time can be influenced by Maya. Arjuna, yes. He was not as bad as Kala Krishna Das, but Arjuna is a classic example. Where although he was in the presence of the Lord, he said, I'm very bewildered, I don't want to do anything. But any other things, any other examples that you can think of? This classic case of the mystery jewel in the Bhagavad. Yeah? In many cases, Indra. No, right? In Brahma, Lord Brahma, he is bewildered. This is the entire thing is Brahma Vimohana, right? The bewilderment of Brahma. Lord Shiva is bewildered so many times, we've heard in the Bhagavatam. So this is the power of the external energy of the Lord. This is why Krishna says, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. It's very, very difficult to overcome this. Mame Vaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Only if you surrender to me, you can overcome this. The classic examples of people actually turning completely the opposite way, I was thinking, was, you've heard this story of Dvivida gorilla? You know who he was? This comes in the Krishna book. Dvivida gorilla. Dvivida. Right? And then he is actually creating all kinds of problems. It's horrible actually. But do you know who he was in the past? Yeah, a monkey who served Lord Ramachandra. Yeah. He could have been Hanuman. Right? But the path that he took was Dvivida gorilla. That's how we remember him. Although he was there in the presence of Lord Ramachandra, he completely fell. Yes? Bali was also not a close associate, right? He was not, Vali was not a close associate of the Lord, right? And another person I was thinking, yeah, Jambavan forgot about the Lord, but didn't do anything close to what Dvivida gorilla was doing. And another instance I was thinking from the Bhagavatam of devotee who was very close to Krishna. We actually say this person was actually an example of Vandanam. You know who this is? Akrura. You know what Akrura did? Yeah, that was part of it. But he did, after he took Krishna, he did something in... Yeah, the greatest story. I mean, this is my most favorite story of intrigue and mystery and suspense and, the Shamantaka jewel. And I forget who was this person who took the jewel? Prasenajit? Prasena. Yeah, Prasena probably. This is the person who actually took the jewel, but he was instigated by Akrura and Kritavarma to take what it starts with an S, I think, right? Shatrajit was the person who owned it, but somebody took it from. But anyway, this entire episode was actually instigated by Akrura. Think about it. This is the power of the illusory potency of the Lord. So we should not take it lightly. It can creep in at any moment of time. So the illusory potency of the Lord is so strong that even in the personal presence of the Lord, it can come up. And what to speak of practicing devotees? Kala Krishna Das was somebody like us, right? Who was not a Nitya Siddha, who was not an eternal associate of the Lord. For eternal associates, it's not a question at all, because they come to this world because they want to serve Krishna. Krishna is asking them to come. But for those of us who've been here from time immemorial, like Prabhupada says, this is something that we should be very careful. Akrura was one. I don't think we see any references to Akrura as a Nitya Siddha. Neither Dvivida Gorila, neither Kala Krishna Das. So these are sadhakas, right? They are not siddhas yet. At the point of sadhana bhakti, it is very, 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 very important that we be very careful. This is why we have rules and regulations. Without these rules and regulations, we would actually be Jai Shri Radha Kalachanji ki Jai. We would be lost. And even at the point of sadhana, it starts with Adav Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava. At this point of Bhava, Rupa Goswami says, we've achieved something extraordinary in our sadhana. What happens at the stage of Bhava, do you know? What's something different that happens at the stage of Bhava? We still have some faint remains, they say. But there is a switch that happens at the stage of Bhava.
Oh, Krishna is a practice to...
At the stage of Bhava, so till at the stage of Bhava at least, we are still within the three modes of material nature. We are still controlled by the three modes of material nature. At the stage of Bhava, it is said, Shuddha Sattva descends in our heart. We are not in the control of three modes of material nature at the stage of Bhava. But even at the stage of Bhava, can you fall? Okay, well, who is the classic example? Bharat. And he didn't fall because he was within the three modes of material nature. Here in the case of Kala Krishna Das, he was still within the three modes of material nature. That is why he was able to be influenced by the women of the Bhattataris, right? But Bharat Maharaj was in the stage of Bhava, Prabhupada says. But even at the stage of Bhava, he was looking after the deer. He forgot about Krishna. And this, Prabhupada says, is because of the minute independence that we have. Even at the stage of Bhava, even at the stage where we are not controlled by the three modes of material nature, we still have minute independence. And we still have to choose to surrender to the Lord. It is not a given that at any point of time, just because we are at any particular stage in the progress of devotional service, that, oh, we are there. Up until we get to the stage of prema, it is still Kamala Dala Jala. Anytime it can happen. So this is the illusory potency of the Lord, that we should be very, very careful. And we will see, although Mahaprabhu rejected Kala Krishna Das, Prabhupada says in the last line, he was given another chance. He didn't completely reject him. We'll read that in the next section. But before we go to that next section, do we have any comments, questions? Yes. Shatadanva. He was the one who stole the Shamantaka. Yeah, Shatadanva. And he was instigated by Akrura and Kritavarma. Kritavarma, you know who was Kritavarma? Yeah, he was the general. He was the army general of Krishna's mighty army, Narayani Sena. Kritavarma actually fought for the other side. Krishna gave Narayani Sena to Duryodhana, right? And I said, I will just be with Arjuna. Arjuna said, we don't want your army. So Kritavarma actually led the army. This was Kritavarma. And Akrura, we don't even have to, he's so exalted. So anyway, thank you for that. So any questions or comments on this section before we move on to the next section? Yes? Can you wait for the mic, please?
When Lord Indra, I think it was Satyabhama, she wanted a tree
Parijata
from Lord Indra's backyard.
He just doesn't learn his lesson.
So when Krishna went to get it, then they...
Yes, mother, yeah.
So Lord Indra, instead of saying, "Oh Krishna, I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah.
Are there any trees that you'd like to have?"
Yeah.
from around here, and instead he fought with Krishna. Actually, it's just a real short thing in the Krishna book. But
if you think about even the timeline, it's even ridiculous, right? If you look at Indra's lifetime, it's probably the 2 days back that he actually lifted the Govardhan hill. A few years, right? 6 months is a day for the Devas, right? Our 6 months is 1 day, or a day for them, and then our 6 months is a night. So our 1 year is actually 1 day for the demigods. So Krishna lifted the Govardhan when probably few years, right? It had been few years, which means it was few months for Indra. So he just few months back he got chastised. he lifted the Govardhan and 7 days, 7 nights he couldn't do anything. And then Krishna said, okay, you don't have to worry, you go back. And then you just be proper in your position. And then like immediately he falls back. Yeah, I mean, this is the power of the material energy, right? When we are attracted to a particular mode of material nature, this is why, what is that verse? Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. What's the beginning? Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. Actually, Jai Sushi Radha Kalachanji ki Jai. This is why Krishna says, Prakrite kriyamanani, gunai karmani sarvasha. Actually, it's the material modes of nature that are actually doing everything. And ahankara vimudatma karta. But somebody who actually is completely full of false ego is thinking, I am the doer. So this is why this is a very, very difficult cycle to get out of. When you are associating with a particular mode of material nature, that tendency actually starts increasing. This is the cycle that I think Rupa Goswami mentions in the Nectar of Devotion, right? Kuta, Bija, Prarabdha, Aprarabdha, this entire cycle, I think Shankarani Prabhu discussed it a couple of days back or yesterday. That when we act in a certain way, our tendency to act in that way increases more and more. This is why this is a vicious cycle. And all of this happens because of avidya, Rupa Goswami says, our ignorance. And our ignorance of what? Our ignorance of who we are and who the Lord is and what our relationship with Him is. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the key to actually chanting the pure names of the Lord is actually being firmly fixed on Sambandha Gyan. If we actually realize our relationship with the Lord, then we cannot do anything else. The key is to realize our relationship. Oh, I am the servant of the Lord. He is my Lord. Because of our tendency, in the case of Indra, to be the masters. Hey, I am the king of the heavenly planets. That it completely clouds us. If we don't even see that it is my Lord who is actually asking me for it. So, and then Krishna has to go and teach him a lesson again. That's all I know about that pastime. Anybody else has any other comments on that? Or anything else we read in this section? Okay, so we'll continue with it. We have some more time. So at least the three things that we see before we go to the next section is there is a huge tendency for us to fall down at any time, even in the presence of the Lord, until we are completely purified, right? And even if that happens, the Lord doesn't really leave us, abandon us. Like He did in the case of Kala Krishna Das, He protected him, brought him back. It's not that if we surrender to the Lord, He'll just abandon us. And we'll see how He actually gave away. Although externally it seemed like Mahaprabhu rejected Kala Krishna Das, He gave him a way out. We'll see how He did that. And also the way He chastised was in private. He didn't just do it in public. Okay, text 66. Eta shuni Krishna dasa kandite lagila madhyana karite Mahaprabhu chali ghela. Who has the mic? Can you read the...
Hearing the Lord reject him, Kalakrishna Das began to cry. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not caring for him, immediately left to take his noon lunch. Yeah, this is something that is extraordinary also. If somebody is crying, you would basically say, okay, don't try to pacify them, but Mahaprabhu is not interested at all.
Like, you do whatever you want, I'm done with you. This was how hard Mahaprabhu was. Nityananda Jagadananda Mukunda Damodara Chari Jane Jukti Tabe Karila Antara.
After this, the other devotees, headed by Nityananda Prabhu, Jagannathananda, Mukunda, and Damodar, began to consider a certain plan.
Even though a person is rejected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees of the Lord do not reject him. Therefore, the Lord's devotees are more merciful than the Lord himself. Srila Narottam Das Thakur thus sings, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Peche Keba. One cannot be relieved from the material clutches without engaging in the service of pure devotees. The Lord himself may sometimes be very hard, but the devotees are always kind. Thus, Kala Krishna Das received the mercy of the 4 devotees mentioned above. Krishna in the 3rd chapter of the Gita says actually something extraordinary. He says, for those who are actually too materially involved, you please don't disturb them, Arjuna. He says that. I think this is 329 or something. He talks about the different kinds. This is karma, right? He speaks about the different kinds of people, and then he says for people who are actually too materialistically minded, don't talk to them. They won't listen to you. But then Prabhupada writes in the purport there also in the Bhagavad Gita that although Krishna may say it, the devotees are kind. They go out of their way to actually help people. This is Nityananda Prabhu, right? We see so many instances of Nityananda Prabhu, his mercy of how it is completely unlimited. We see in the classic case of Jagai and Madai. Nityananda Mahaprabhu rejected them, right? He was taking his chakra, saying, you've basically physically assaulted my associates. This is how bad it was. And even then, Nityananda Prabhu held his lotus feet and said, no, this is not what you're supposed to do. This incarnation, you're supposed to be merciful. So for me, please be merciful. And the Lord at that point doesn't have a way. Because the Lord has also given his independence to the devotees. This is why we celebrate this entire month. Right? The entire month of Damodar is there because the Lord is ready to be bound by his devotee. This is the love that the devotee shows to the Lord, that the Lord says, okay, I'll do whatever you want. Mother Yashoda, you want to bind me? Okay, go ahead and bind me. Oh, the gopis, you want me to dance if you have to give me a little butter? Oh, I'll come and dance in front of you. It is not that Krishna needs any of this, right? Krishna can have unlimited butter. But what Krishna is bound by is by the love of his devotees. Which is why Prabhupada mentions here that without serving the pure devotees of the Lord, it is actually impossible for us to be relieved from the material clutches. I'll read that again. He's quoting Narottam Das Thakur. One cannot be relieved from the material clutches without engaging in the service of pure devotees. And Nityananda Prabhu, in this case 4, Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda, Mukunda and Damodara, they come and they hatch a plan. Oh, Mahaprabhu has said this, but we cannot leave. We see this time and time again in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Whenever there is any hardship to a devotee, the community never rejects the devotee. They somehow come together and figure out how that devotee can get the mercy of the Lord. We will see, I think in the case of Mukunda, right? It will happen hereafter. I forget. Where Mahaprabhu said, you will not get my mercy even after 1,000,000 years. And what was the reaction of the devotees? Because before that, every single devotee was getting incredible benedictions from the Lord. And then at one point, he said, he's rejecting Mukunda Datta, one of the persons here, right? Mukunda Datta. And saying, 1,000,000 years Mukunda cannot get my mercy. And then the reaction of the devotees is that they're feeling very sorry. It's not that, oh, I have everything that I have from the Lord. Whatever happens to Mukunda, I don't really care. The devotees come and try to pacify the Lord. And this is what's happening in this instance also, is that although the Lord has rejected Kala Krishna Das, the devotees have not rejected him. And Kala Krishna Das was specifically sent by Nityananda Prabhu. And this is why Mahaprabhu also waited till coming back to Jagannath Puri. That if we leave him here, then there will be devotees to take care of him. It's not just that he'll be alone. So he was trusting the instincts of the devotees that even if he had basically rejected Kalakrishna Das, there would be somebody to take care of him. And in this case, they had a plan for Kalakrishna Das. We'll see what that plan is. Or we have 2 more minutes, right? We should probably look at this section next week. That way we can read this entire section next week. So if there are any final thoughts, we can, yes? Actually, before you ask, can I say something? I'm sorry, I just remembered. So all we have spoken about is actually how we react to somebody falling down, right? But from the perspective of the person falling down, we haven't spoken. I would just like to say, what was the reaction of Kalakrishna Das? Yeah, he was actually repenting. He didn't take it for granted that, oh, it's fine for me to do whatever I have to do. We will see that also. Although he got the mercy of the devotees, Kalakrishna Das actually took responsibility for his actions. So there are 2 sides to it, right? There is one side where the community and the group of devotees are being very merciful when untoward things happen. At the same time, the devotee who is actually going through it is also feeling repentant. And also is sticking to devotional service. This is what we'll see. Throughout the year that he was with Mahaprabhu, he didn't stop performing devotional service. He was serving the Lord directly. And this is when the Lord says, Apichet Suduracharo. This is a verse that's often mistaken. Right? Interpreted differently. The Lord says in the Gita, Apichet Suduracharo bhajate mamananyabhak sadureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hisa. He says, Apichet Suduracharo. For somebody who has actually performed the most abominable thing. Duracharo is bad, Suduracharo is abominable, horrible. You should consider him a sadhu, Krishna says. Because he's still trying to perform devotional service. And then he says, Shikpram bhavati dharmatma shashvat gatim na shantati. Right? Kaunteya prasijanahi name bhakta pranashyati. The next verse is that although he has performed abominable activities, if he continues to stick to performing devotional service, he will immediately come back to his position. And my devotee never perishes, Arjuna, he says. But the point that we have to consider is that you have to repent. Prabhupada writes in that purport that you cannot take this as a license for you to do whatever you want to do. And then says, oh, you should consider me a sadhu. This is from the perspective of the person who's actually committed something that's not great. From that person's perspective, they have to repent sincerely and at the same time continue the path of devotional service in the association of devotees. And for that, the devotees have to allow them, right? We need the association of devotees. So they're given some mechanism through which they can associate with the devotees if they see genuine repentance in that person. And we see that in the case of Kalakrishna Das here. Yes, Drishta, sorry.
Thank you for the nice class. I was thinking it can be a little scary to think about how he was directly with Lord Chaitanya, and still he got attracted by something else. He got bewildered by something.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's an experience that I have and many others can say that they have, is that even in good association, like he was with Lord Chaitanya is the best devotee. Even in really good devotee association, still we could fall down. So I'm wondering, what do we do if we're already around devotees and we're already trying to do bhakti, but still we have this struggle.
I think it's Chanakya Pandit that Prabhupada quotes, is that with the son, with the king, and with the deity, with the spiritual master, right? You should not go too close or you should not go too far. If you go too close to the sun, what will happen? It can burn you if you can't take the heat. And if you go too far away, you're not benefiting from the sun at all. So you have to figure out this ideal position from the sun where you're taking association of the sun, at the same time not being burnt by it. It depends on our capacity. This is what it comes down to. Depending on our progress. If we are, this is why we need mentors, right? If we are a Kanishta Bhakta, we are a neophyte devotee, our tendency is to think I am the greatest of everybody. Everybody should think and do what I am saying is as the right thing. So we need safeguards. This is the point. Even though we are in the community of Vaishnavas, we cannot say the other extreme is, oh, I'm going to commit mistakes, I'm going to go far away from them. Then we will not benefit at all. Just like how if we are far away from the sun, we will not benefit at all. So if we are being burnt, then it means that we are going too close than what we can handle. So we have to take a step back to a comfortable position where we can handle the heat. This, we need guidance of mentors who can actually tell us, oh, this is something that's too much for you. So you might want to step back in this area, in this aspect, so that you're not being burnt. Makes sense? And then it depends on the specifics, right? This is just a general idea, but the specifics can vary on why we are committing that offense and why this is happening. Yeah. This is actually very difficult because we are trying to inculcate this quality of humility. And at the same time, we are also because we are not completely pure, we want all this adulation and praise and all of this at the same time, because that's how we feel encouraged, right? Without that, we feel that, okay, what is happening in my service, I'm not getting any feedback. But at the same time, if we get something like that, it can really get to our heads. And this is why it is very important for us to be in the association of devotees who can actually pull us up. Jai Shri Shri Radha Kalachan Ji ki Jai. It's becoming like Banki Bihari. This is why the association of devotees is so important, sadhu sangha. Not just, in general, we need sadhu sangha, right? We come together, sing, chant. That is an important aspect of sadhu sangha, here together. But we also need people who are very close to us, who are a little advanced than us, who we can share our hearts with, and who we can trust, and who can actually pull us up and say, hey, this is not something that is going right for you. You should probably do something. Who we can trust and we can follow. This is very important. Yeah, is that okay? Do you have anything?
I'm just passing the mic.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Bhagwan.
Sorry to drag this on too long, but you just brought up something that reminded me of yesterday.
It reminded you of?
Yesterday at this time,
yeah.
I was in the rafters of the Cowboy Stadium and putting up speakers for the Thanksgiving show coming up. So I was in the association of non-devotees, but I was also associating by being on YouTube and listening to this class. So Mataji was saying how we praise one another. Isn't there a danger that it might go to our head, you know?
Yeah.
But right after the class, then an argument broke out amongst my co-workers, and one of them said to the other,
Shri Shri Radha Kalachan Ji ki.
Shri Shri Radha Kalachan. And they got quite offensive with each other. One of them said, you know, you're as dumb as hell. And when he said it, I thought, that's just the opposite of what a devotee would say to one another. So,
yeah,
is it kind of like the difference between devotees and non-devotees? That non-devotees seem like they're always complaining about one another, and they don't really have very deep relationships.
Yeah.
Especially at work, everybody goes home, nobody has anything to do with each other. So, is it like she was saying, you know, there's a danger in glorifying one another, but isn't that sort of the nature of devotees?
Yeah.
They're always glorifying, they're always saying nice things, they have austerity of speech.
Yeah.
And then it seems like the meat eaters are always attacking one another. You know, there's like, Prabhupada said, there's living entities are always envious of one another in the material world. So that projects, you know, with the way they treat one another. So it's not, that's what I was wondering about. We say it's like a danger to criticize one another, but isn't it just the quality of a Vaishnava that to be like the bumblebee?
Yes, exactly. This is the quality of a Vaishnava, is to always see the good in others, right? Whereas, and it is, the reason is because the nature of Vaishnava relationships and the nature of relationships outside of the Vaishnava society is completely different. Because the relationships outside are centered around what this person can give me. If there is no benefit for me from this person, then that relationship is gone. Right? I won't be with this person anymore, and this person is not adding any value, so to speak. Right? That's how the nature of... But the nature of Vaishnava relationships are centered around Krishna. All of us are here so that we can serve Krishna. If all of us are there from that perspective, then we are encouraging each other for the purpose of serving Krishna. Right? I see some good quality in you, and then I say, oh, because you're serving my Lord, I see, oh, this person has such a nice quality that he's serving my Lord so nicely. Therefore, there is no envy in that sense. Whereas in the other sense, it's a rat race outside. I mean, if you're working, like you're saying in companies, like you cannot say anything good about the other person, right? You're trying to figure out ways on bringing the other person down so that you can go up in the corporate ladder. So this is completely different. The reason why it's different is because it is based on Krishna being the center. And if we forget that in Vaishnava societies, then it becomes problematic. Right? If I take that from the perspective of saying a devotee is saying this to me, which means Krishna has accepted my service. This is how Krishna communicates with us. I should do my service better. That's how we take it. And another perspective I have on this is what Rupa Goswami says in the Nectar of Instruction. In a Vaishnava society, there is no question of being disrespectful to anybody, right? Anybody. So the respect is always there. But the way we show respect to others, Rupa Goswami says you have to distinguish. He says, Krishne tiyasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibishya bhajantamisha shushrusaya bhajana vignam ananyamanya nindadi shunyam hridamipshita sangalabdya. He says for neophytes, you have to respect them, but you show the respect in the mind. Because if you directly glorify them, you're paying obeisances right in front of them, then it gets to their head. It actually is not good for the other person. So even when we are glorifying, we have to use our judgment on how we glorify devotees. It's not, or else we'll actually harm the other person. It's just not for our sake. It's not that, oh, I don't want to glorify the other person. Because the other person might be harmed by the way we are overly glorifying the other person. Because already the Kanishta Bhakta is thinking, I am the greatest. And then you add more ghee on top of it, right? He is saying, oh, it's me and Krishna now. Already that's his mentality. And then you're glorifying in public and incredible, you're doing this, you're doing that, which might be true. But the effect that you would have on the other person would be actually detrimental to the other person. That the glorification would actually be not proper for the other person. So there is a general concept that we always have to be respectful, we have to praise the devotees, but we also have to pick and choose how we do it. This is very important. So that's something I have to add. Did I say something wrong?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for a very nice class. You actually summarized it really well in the end about the importance of having these trusted relationships in the community. And as you were saying, I was just feeling so much gratitude to have a few of these trusted Vaishnavas in my life. And the point I wanted to make is as we grow older, like in this, at my stage, I'm feeling like some of my most trusted friends actually younger than me. Yeah. But I see that they are more advanced and that they can, guide me. Yeah. And so I take shelter of them. So I just wanted to express my gratitude. They know who they are.
Yes. So very nice. This is true, that the advancement is not based on age. So that's a point that you bring. We have to pick associates who are more advanced than us, but it's not based on age. They can be young, like how Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami was in the assembly, and at the same time everybody else was sitting and listening. I think we should stop. We are way over time. So thank you all for your attention. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha kalpatrubhyascha, Kripa sindhubhyo vacha, Patitanam pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai.
Just want to mention at 9 o'clock we'll have Dhamarastika for anybody who can't come back in the evening or would like to offer in the morning and the evening. That's always an option as well. And the kirtan will be led by the kids. So please come join us at 9 o'clock. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.